Are you looking for new music from 2022 that you want to listen to help you get a good feel for music that's coming out within the year? Check out my playlist down in the description below. 2022 is on fire, where I feature my personal favorite tracks from the albums I've listened to throughout the year, whether I've reviewed it already, only written a review, or just listened to it casually. Check it out when you have the time. I'd really appreciate the support, and you might even find a band or an artist that you didn't know previously that might be a new favorite. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Holy fuck, this year has had a lot of great metal releases. Another one. Welcome to A Run and Does Music. We're today checking out the second album from Black and deathcore band Shephard called Ritual Hymns. Look at that. I fucking love that cover art. This is a band I found courtesy of one of the metal groups I'm in on Facebook, and I was excited to check them out this early into their career. Last year I had a decent range of genres that I did reviews for, but it wasn't as wide and vast as I wanted it to be. So being able to check out black and deathcore like this makes my heart soar. Overall, I'm hoping to remedy that by dipping into more areas like EDM, country, and of course the always invigorating, always somehow different every single time around genre of deathcore. So let's get into it. I put this album on right on release day, being fresh to the band and wanting this new release to be my introduction in full form. And I found some seriously solid musicianship on display from this relatively young band. There's all the typical song structure of the genre to be found, along with the now commonplace variety within the track list that a lot of deathcore from the past was missing from bands that weren't on major labels. If you weren't like a big time deathcore band, a lot of the times you just had basically same kind of going on every single song on like a 14-song album. And yet people loved it. There's nothing wrong with that. Just, y'all fucking with that? I wish I could do that shit. Even now, going along with that, a lot of bands that get labeled as local or small, and no negative sense at all, just genuinely small, just starting up bands, tend to lean more into just putting an absolute brutality above all else, not wanting to halt the momentum at any point, and just wanting to focus on pure heavy as fuck, hard as fuck, fast hitting shit, all in your face, just all over your face. However, just 3 tracks in, I heard the song The Raven's Keep, which had just the kind of pacing I wanted to hear from these guys when it comes to terms of variety. There was definite bone-crushing power to be had and heard, but in the middle part of the song we get this slow build-up that watches the entire band close in on themselves, letting the vocals take over and really settle into a satisfying build with a mountain of a payoff. The next song, too, Chalice of Rebirth, holds a stink-face-inducing breakdown that rivals 2021 releases like Kostalum in levels of grit and totality. And I don't mean just like a face like, oh, okay. I mean like a kind of face going on. You come into a deathcore album and get brutal breakdowns and skin-chilling vocals one way or another, but it's still incredible to see bands go extra miles to produce something fascinating on an album like Ritual Hymns. The vocals on this album range from what you'd expect to purely animalistic when you bring in a track like the feature-riddled Blood Kingdom, or the later track A Bird in the Dust. While both feature guests of different pedigrees, Blood Kingdom is a song that stands out more to me on this album for a few reasons. Between the insane talent on display from Luca and I can't pronounce this, I'm sorry. Vicious? I'm sorry. To the 7-minute runtime, this is what bands should be doing when they have a shorter track list and longer songs. Jam as much energy and fire as you can into the couple of tracks to boost that time length, and in that added time, make up for it by constantly going out of your way, by switching up the pacing, utilizing different techniques, doing everything you can to make yourself stand out from the pack. That's what I love to see, and that's what I wish a lot more bands would do. With a lot of longer songs from even my favorite artists, long songs can feel like they recycle sections or rely on a samey formula, but here on Kingdom, I feel like every part of the song followed its own path. Every one of those said paths connecting at the precipice, at the peak of this band's talent by the time the song was over. Switching over to A Bird in the Dusk, I found a lot of my favorite lyrics hidden underneath the always buzzing sound of the instruments, with lines like "speak not through whispered words" ringing in my head like a battle cry. To be honest, this whole album plays out like the soundtrack to a fantasy game such as Skyrim, or to go into more obscure areas, Gates of Anderon. Did y'all ever fucking play Gates of Anderon? I fucking loved that game so much. It's dead now. I miss it. Moments like the out-of-nowhere squeal just before the 4-minute mark sound like perfect companions to splitting open an orc skull or thrusting a sword through a tyrant king's throats. Deathcore as a genre is kind of difficult to review, and as I'm sure I will note or have noted in my review for the newest Fit for an Autopsy album, whether it's a veteran group or one rising through the ranks, it's a genre that most definitely shows its patterns and structural formulas no matter how much work goes into making a piece individual. But that's fine in the end. This album especially has plenty of individual elements and vibes to keep it standing out from the rest, and there's a lot going on here and enough going on here to not make me think, okay, this is just another deathcore album. This is a standout deathcore album from a band that's very early into their career and a career that I hope keeps on going on. To have emotions and general feelings communicated thoroughly, even if you were to strip away the vocals, is a mental thing, and one that I find adds extra leverage to a band that early into their career. I also want to quickly shout out the members and what I thought was their most impressive moments. Those being Devin absolutely smashing the closing track Winter Sun, guitarists Trey, Brandon, and Ryan bringing the thunder on really every song, but specifically Wilted Moon and the title track, and finally Leo sounding like a possessed soul on drums, like an of-sword nail. For those reasons and the reasons listed above, Ritual Hymns by Worm Shephard gets a 7.8 out of 10. That's the review. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'm trying to get these reviews a little quicker by just kind of saying fuck it and reading purely from the script. I know it's got to be kind of confusing to see me constantly looking down like this, and I apologize for that, but it does help me get out content a lot faster, a lot quicker, and a lot easily more to you guys, and I really got to start catching up. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the album too. Go check out the album. It's fucking great. It's like, I'll link it down in the comment section below. Overall, have a great day. Stay hydrated. I'll see you next time.